Hello and welcome to all project managers, not PMPs. My name is Sergey Brovkin. I am a certified recovering project manager, and this is my advanced project management course. And you are welcome. After 2 decades of certified professional project management, one day I probably hit what could be called project management midlife crisis. I realized that the soft aspects of project management, or any business actually, are at least as important as are any of the so-called hard assets. That is, your people and the culture of your business are at least as important as your equipment, your technology, and your capital assets. Even more so if you care about the actual value you deliver to the society. And that is not just value to your shareholders, but to your stakeholders at large. If you realize that, then you have a very good chance to become a great manager. But it does not improve your chances to pass the PMP certification exams. So if you are here looking for tips and tricks to pass the exam, you're wasting your time. Okay, now that we have best in class left, I'll tell you that we will talk here about project management excellence, high performance, and engaged teams. And if you're a manager, and that is if your job is to work with a team of people towards a goal, this course will significantly accelerate your progress towards that goal or goals, both business and personal. But still, you may insist tuning to your favorite FM radio station, WIFM. You all know the radio station, WIFM radio, don't you? What's in it for me? So what's in it for you? In this course, I will share with you my personal best practices that will help you to become a better manager without spending any time or money on the credentials and certifications that you probably don't need. You'll be surprised to learn that those best practices may be counterintuitive at times, but definitely are not rocket science. All you need is to know them and to apply them consistently, and you'll see the results almost right away. From my experience with clients and colleagues like you, I can tell you right away, it is almost always possible to improve your performance just by improving your meetings, communications, and teamwork. The best practices I will share with you will allow you to do just that. They're very easy to implement and they bring immediate results. Here's one example for you, a recent one, and it's really a simple example indeed. If I help you optimize your meetings, how much will be the cost, the benefit, and your return on investment? As one head of finance instantly calculated, saving just 1 hour each week by making the executive team meeting more focused, your benefit will be up to $30,000 per year for an average company. And the cost, of course, is $0. Now tell me, what's your return on investment?
Wow.
So what's in it for you? Over the course of the next few weeks, and actually just a few hours of watching together with your team, you will learn best practices that will cost you nothing. And as we are going to talk about soft stuff, people and processes, you will not need any investments or additional resources to improve or implement them. But most probably you will have to start with yourself, and there I will help you too. So who should take this course? If you are a line manager, from a team lead to a CEO, or planning to become one, or if you are just an accidental project manager, which means pretty much all of us, this course is for you. Let me explain. Consider this. Let's chart your present, past, and future workload as follows on the whiteboard. Let me move aside, or better still, let me disappear for now. I assume you are a middle manager now, right? Sort of. When you started in an entry-level position, you would probably spend 95% of your time on the subject matter, whatever is your profession. Engineering, drafting, accounting, data analysis, you fill in the blank yourself. And only 5% of your time would be spent on administration. All that intangible, touchy-feely, soft stuff, activities imposed on you by your boss or by the HR. Going up, you notice that by now your ratio of subject matter versus administration is about 50-50. It is quite in line with the next assumption that when you get to the top, you will probably spend 95% of your time on administration or soft stuff. Hardly more than 5% of your task will need what used to be known as your initial original subject matter expertise. But, quoting Hamlet, here is the rub. To become an entry-level engineer, you had to complete at least 3 to 5 years of full-time studies. Then, already employed, you will have spent more hours, weeks and months learning new engineering things, advancing your technical competence, continuing your professional education. Now, at where you are, with say 50-50 expected ratio, you may have 10-15 years of technical or subject matter training. But how many years in administrative training? At best, most of us will have a few days of leadership seminar, or again a PMP certification course attended on weekends for a total of 30 to 50 hours, right? You see, those are incompatible levels of preparation for equivalent workload. The result? You know the result, 80-hour work week. Although Elon Musk rightfully declared that one would not be able to change the world on 40 hours a week, I tend to disagree. It depends on how you spend the 40 hours, and we'll cover that in this course as well. There are two caveats here. Many engineers or subject matter experts of any sort, having been pushed into the administrative role, tend to love their subject matter and spend all the time available on it because it is interesting. But the administrative tasks just don't go away. That leads to huge overtime and up to 80 hours or more work per week. And also to frustrated teams because your team members expect more attention to their needs from their team lead. They need more leadership, and that is soft stuff. And less technical advice, which is actually micromanagement, whatever you may call or personally think of your help. And you personally may need more life in your own work-life balance equation. But it just doesn't happen because you have more things on your plate that you can possibly eat. Is it getting close to home, people? If yes, you know the spiel. Click subscribe, like, follow me. You know how to do it. Just do it anywhere on the web, wherever you can find me. Mind you, some of the materials you will be getting here are available by subscription only. That was a joke. It's impossible to stay absolutely serious throughout the course and actually counterproductive. Maybe somebody doesn't like it. I'll try. There will be no more joke alerts. Other than that, this course is split into sections or lessons, and I recommend you to take one lesson per week with your team. Not more than one, because the best way to learn is to discuss it right away and to apply with your team. Some of my clients have introduced lunch and learn sessions. Perhaps you should too. At the end of each session, there will be a quick quiz followed by questions and answers based on your questions that I will get over the web. Questions make you think and digest the knowledge better, and that means that they make me think as well. I will be answering your questions and updating the course material based on your feedback. You can find me here, there, or everywhere on the web, and please be my guest. Send me an email or a question. And in every lesson, somewhere, there will be a pro tip. Something that you can use right away and that will instantly improve your own or your team's performance. Here is the pro tip of the day for you. The 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle. You must have heard about that one. But we tend to forget the obvious. Named after an engineer by birth and a philosopher in real life, Wilfredo Pareto, who noticed that roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. That's in engineering language. If you are already more a philosopher than an engineer, you will like and remember better this definition. There are always the vital few and the trivial many. In simple words, whatever you look around at in real life, you will always find that a limited number of small things has a major impact on the big picture. And those are the small things that you have to take care about if you are a manager or a project manager. On your personal level, keep track of all things that you have done during the day, and you will see that approximately 20% of the items have taken 80% of your time. If you keep track of your spending over some period of time, you will see that 20% of the items account for 80% of your expenses. Look around and you will see that there is roughly one driver per 4 passengers. Sorry to say that, but you may notice that the rule applies to your team as well. Think about it and let me know. And that was your first pro tip. Final word, and we'll be done with this introductory class. As a performance expert myself, I use the 80-20 rule all the time. And I can tell you with certainty that 80% of useful knowledge that you need to excel as a manager will be contained in just 20% of the information that you will receive over your entire professional lifetime. So in this course, I will do my best to deliver you those 20%. And if you use them properly, remember, 1 class per week with a team meal, and do not forget to subscribe. Then you may be able to upgrade it to 90-10, which is even a more powerful rule, just because you are focused, well organized, and honest with yourself. And that's pretty much what good management is all about. See you next week.
Dude, you kind of sound like a cow the other day. Oh my God.
Q&A, where we learn from each other. I do not have many questions yet after just the introduction and a short first class, but I have one question that I actually expected. It comes from a bright person residing in my hometown. The question is, why did you steal the title of the course from Henry Mintzberg but left the comma out? Of course, we all know Professor Mintzberg here, and he will forgive me. I guess I had an urge to steal. because at first I had another title in mind, the effective executive. Because project management is not a special science or even a field, it's just a subsection of management. And the real manager, the one who has the actual power and the actual responsibility, is called executive. So effective executive could be a good title, but I learned that it has already been used by Peter Drucker, who wrote his book about the same time as Henry Mintzberg wrote his book Managers Not MBA. Mintzberg's idea when he wrote the book was that the MBA system is not preparing managers that are really needed by businesses and by the society at large. Good management requires certain traits and life experiences that MBA graduates do not really have and by all means won't get after a conventional MBA program. And I believe that PMP certification, although not an academic degree, has certain similarities with the MBA credential. Both are about management, both have become very popular and morphed into something that what I would call commercial ecosystem. They have different business models, but they are both academic businesses, not real education. With project management being a small part of management in general, I think this title is appropriate for my short management course. As for the comma though, it's not in the original title either, if you look at the book. I asked Professor Mintzberg if that omission was his intentional brain teaser. Like, you know, in the classic sentence, refrain not to kill King Edward is right. This example would be a good example for an MBA program, but for the PMP level, I would use another example that you must have heard of. Let's eat grammar. Professor Mintzberg replied that there is absolutely no conspiracy here. It's just how the title was optimized during the publishing cycle. The original title actually was slightly different. And now we're done for the week. Now, as we're done, I'd better take this one. See you in a week.